Crusades could prove to be enormously popular in the Middle Ages, but not everybody approved. One writer of the 12th century strongly criticised the Second Crusade. His words are damning and cynical. He accuses many of the Crusaders of being self serving and going on crusade to serve their own interests. He says, God allowed the Western Church, on account of its sins, to be cast down. There arose, indeed, certain pseudo-prophets, witnesses of Antichrist, who seduced the Christians with empty words. The preaching of these men was so enormously influential that the inhabitants of nearly every region, by common vows, offered themselves freely for common destruction. Not only the ordinary people, but kings, dukes, marquises, and other powerful men of the world as well, believed that they thus showed their allegiance to God. The intentions of the various men were different. Some, indeed, lusted after novelties, and went in order to learn about new lands. Others there were who were driven by poverty, who were in hard straits at home. These men went to fight, not only against the enemies of Christ, but even against the friends of the Christian name, wherever opportunity appeared, in order to relieve their poverty. There were others who were oppressed by debts to other men, or who sought to escape the service due to their lords, or who were even awaiting the punishment merited by their shameful deeds. While these words were aimed at the Second Crusade, there are parts of what the writer says that can be easily applied to both the First Crusade and later Crusades. For example, the part where the writer criticizes pseudo-prophets could easily be applied to Peter the Hermit, the preacher who led his followers to such disastrous destruction during the People's Crusade, although that particular venture gets overlooked somewhat, as it was technically a part of the otherwise incredibly successful First Crusade. And whilst it's fair to say many of the Crusaders of the 11th, 12th, and later centuries went on their expeditions with genuine intentions, unquestionably others had eyes set on more material gains. Therefore, criticism of the crusading ideal was fair and perfectly natural, and is supported by the fact that, aside from the First Crusade and eventually the Reconquista or the reconquest of Spain, the Crusades bore very little fruit for Christendom.